From the Geek at Arms podcast, this is Geeks at Play. Geeks at Play is our gaming actual play episodes, where we invite some of our friends around the digital table to roll some dice, have some laughs, and share an adventure.
Welcome back to City on the Hill Gaming. I am your narrator, Ryan. Welcome once again as we get ready for some family-friendly actual play nonsense. Got a great group with me today, all the regulars. We're going to play ourselves some good old-fashioned, you know it, you love it, 2nd edition Dungeons & Dragons. So buckle in, kids. Yeah. What's up? What's up, Mike?
Hey, Ryan. I thought this was our podcast, the Geek at Arms podcast for a Geeks at Play.
What now?
Yeah. This is we're doing Geeks at Play today.
But I made all these 2nd edition characters. What do I do with these?
I think that what you should do is save those wonderful characters and give yourself an opportunity to play them like anytime else.
Literally any other time.
Any other time.
All right, we'll do that instead.
I don't want to step on that enthusiasm. So I want you to channel that enthusiasm when we play an episode of Roll for Shoes.
Ooh, okay, that's fine too.
We're going to have some zany fun where we are going to be helping a beloved NutriCorp Mega-glomeration food-producing plant clean up some of their act because they have a few small health violations that we're going to be cleaning up. So let's let our players introduce their characters and see who we have joining with us today.
I can start if you'd like.
Start us off, AJ.
Hi, my character his name is Jason Alexander. He is an extreme janitor, and he is bringing a mop with him.
I'm Brian. I'm playing Aloysius Plum, light bulb technician 2nd class, and he has a satchel.
Hi, I'm Ryan. I am playing Max Torque, and I am a general purpose handyman, and I have my trusty, unnecessarily large wrench with me at all times.
Max Torque.
Max Torque.
That is amazing.
I'm imagining the wrench from Stargate SG-1. You ever see that? Siler's always carrying around this gigantic wrench.
Yes. Comically large, almost impossible to use in any situation.
And listeners, if you're unfamiliar with the tone that we're going to have for Roll for Shoes, Ryan has just let you know exactly what you're in for.
That's what I do here.
All right. So for all of you listeners who may be unfamiliar with the microsystem Roll for Shoes, what it is, well, it's just that, a microsystem. There are only 6 rules, a summary of which are you begin with 1 skill, and that skill is called Do Anything. Anytime you want to do anything, whether that's open a door or check to see that you have shoes on or cast a fireball, you roll Do Anything for 1d6. If you roll a 6 on that die, then you may create a new skill related to what you were doing. And you may create that skill at a 2D. So if you were trying to open a door and you roll a 6, then you can create Open Door or Pick Lock or Open Sesame for 2d6. If you are rolling that 2d6 skill and you roll 2 6s, then you can create a new skill pertaining to what you were doing at a 3d6. So these skills tend to get more specific and pretty silly as we go on. This game will break. It is designed to break as part of our one-shot. Now, the way that you determine success or failure is you roll against the GM. You have to roll higher than the GM. If you roll equal to or less than the GM, then you fail. If you fail, you get an experience point. Experience points are good for helping you gain new skills. They don't determine anything in terms of your success or failure. It's just a matter of whether you learn from and improve from that failure and past failures. You can either use your experience points or bank them. What you do with experience points is you can take any roll or any die and move 1 die up to a 6 after you have determined success or failure. So if I roll Open Sesame and I roll a 5 and a 6, then I can spend 1 experience point to turn those into 2 6s and then create a new skill. If I have 2 experience points and I roll a 1 or a 2, I can turn them, after we've determined success or failure, into 2 6s, and then we can gain a new skill from there. Are you on board, players?
On board.
Let's do this.
Bon voyage.
You enter into the reception area of the NutriCorp building. And when I say the welcome area, it's not terribly welcoming. It is a room with 3 seats and a screen. Once you amble in after dark, a video starts playing. And it says, "Welcome to NutriCorp, a mega-glomeration committed to an ethical, sustainable food production for a better, yummier future. We thank you, new independent contractors, for joining our team. We have provided a video for all of our new independent contractors to review basic orientation and safety needs." And every time it says independent contractors, it's distinctly another voice dubbing over a mouth movement that says employees. And the orientation gives you the basic layout of the plant. And also, it starts to go over the safety needs, but the video seems to get disrupted and fast forward and seems to pixelate, and the horizontal and the vertical seem to get messed up. And then the video just kind of unceremoniously concludes. Once the video concludes, you see a contract print up from a slot below the screen. And it looks like a pretty basic hire for services and gives a list of some of the basic health violations that you'll be cleaning up. So what do you do?
I begin to peruse the list of violations.
Okay.
Yeah, I would also like to do that.
Throughout the video, anybody who looked at him might have noticed Aloysius under his breath talking along with the video exactly as it goes. But then he goes over, grabs a contract, just scribbles on it, and throws it in the basket where it goes.
Okay.
GM, does this video plan a loop?
No, it does not.
Okay.
Interesting.
Now you said that you wanted to peruse this basic terms of service and the services it wants. So do you want to roll for that?
Oh,
because you're doing something at this point.
Let me do something. Hold on.
Any chance you have to get experience is a chance to get experience.
That's not wrong. Loud noises, 3.
3. You successfully see a list of violations. Some of them include metal shavings in the baby food. You see listed among their extermination of rats and unwanted pests. You also see listed among them a semi-dried puddle of sticky filth, but it does not particularly say where or what. The list goes on, and it looks concerning, but nothing terribly out of the ordinary.
This is when I change my one item to a single metal green shaker can of Comet. Because I remember elementary school, and that's how you fix all messes.
AJ, are you rolling to do anything?
Yeah, well, I also wanted to examine the list of problems just to see if there's anything else I could find.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
All right, it's 2d6, right?
1d6.
1d6, cool. Oh, that's a 1.
Okay, you start to read, but you're just not kind of paying attention. Like your eyes slide over it. You massive air quotes read it. So give yourself an experience point.
Okay, I got an experience point, and my eyes are glazed over with contractees.
He Apple terms of serviced it.
Yeah, exactly.
Would the rest of you like to sign your contracts?
I will sign my contract, though I find some of the wording concerning.
Vague? Yeah, don't worry about that.
It's probably fine.
Yeah, I signed mine with a big flourish like John Hancock.
Good.
As soon as you sign your contracts, you hear, "Paper jam cleared." And about 78 pages of legalese spew out of the device.
Technology. Okay.
Awesome.
And as soon as it does, are you taking that with you? You letting it sit there?
Oh, no, I'm definitely taking that with me.
Okay. And as soon as you pick up your contract, the door to the plant opens.
I'm going to roll it up like a newspaper, stuff it in my back pocket, and head towards the plant.
Okay. Well, what do you do with this list of health violations in this plant?
I feel like we should start small.
Okay.
I don't know which of these I consider small, but...
One thing on the list that would strike you as small would be a dirty/contaminated carrot stretcher assembly.
See, you keep using words like contaminated, and that concerns me. Okay.
Did you say carrot stretcher?
No. Yes.
What is a carrot stretcher?
It stretches carrots.
It artificially increases the size of the carrots before released to the public. Very common practice.
How do you think that your carrots are all of such uniform length?
Don't they just cut them? Why are we stretching the carrots out?
Well, if you cut it, you have to throw bits of it away. If you stretch it, then the carrot gets longer.
The real secret is that the carrots out of the ground are all only about 2 inches.
They're actually spherical. In order to get that,
Yes, also that.
Like, you're really going to have to start up that machinery if you really want to understand this.
It's sort of like Play-Doh.
Okay, can I describe my character real quick?
Sure.
Okay, so yeah, Jason Alexander is 6 feet tall. He's wearing sunglasses for some reason inside, and his hair is like slicked back in this pompadour, and he acts like he's the last action hero at all times. And I'm gonna Jason will turn to Max Torque and say, "I noticed your name on your name tag. It's impressive," and he's gonna shake your hand, Max.
It's a pleasure to meet you, sir. Max Torque looks, and I'm gonna make a very specific reference, exactly like Captain Lou Albano playing Mario. Because I considered playing a plumber, but the urge to only ever say "it's a me" seemed inappropriate. So we're going with this instead.
Pleasure to be working with you, gentlemen.
Aloysius is rail thin, for some reason wearing a white lab coat, and he's got like 2 days growth of facial hair and a haunted expression in his eyes.
Okay, Aloysius is a plant by the factory. Concerns. Okay. All right, we'll go. Do I know from the layout that they showed us in the video where the carrot machine is?
Why don't
I roll?
Yeah, look to see if you can find the carrot stretcher.
Let's go carrot hunting. That's a 5.
Unfortunately, you look left, you look right. Based on the description, you're looking for carrots standing in front of mirrors, bending left and bending right, and maybe on a down dog. You see no carrots doing any such activities.
Okay.
So you're a little lost. Give yourself an experience point.
I shall attempt to find the carrot stretcher. I've got a 3.
Okay. You succeed.
Can I use my XP?
You absolutely should.
Okay, I now have a skill called machine searching.
Ooh.
Are you sure it's not carrot sniffing?
That seems slightly more suboptimal than what I wrote, so...
It's this way. Follow me.
All right. You come up to the carrot stretcher, and it is a long assembly line. You do see that some things are stopped, like mid-carrot assembly. You're not quite sure where things have gone wrong. You haven't seen the device in action, but if you want to either search for the contamination or if you want to just clean the whole thing, that's up to you.
I like the idea that there's a process by which you put carrots together. And actually, I don't know if I like that. I think I kind of hate it.
I would like to spin my mop like a staff and set to work cleaning the machine.
That is fantastic. For some reason, I am imagining something like Aang from Avatar: The Last Airbender cleaning something with his mop.
That's exactly what I'm going for. He's going to say that, and then he's going to slowly remove his shades and look into the camera wherever the fourth wall is, and just say, "This town, it's time to get clean." And it's going to start in. Can I go and roll?
Go ahead and roll.
There's a surprising amount of grace in what's happening right now, and I like it.
I rolled a 4.
Okay, you rolled a 4, and it is an impressive display of moppery. Like, this is something like you would expect to see on a martial arts television show. However, given that things are done for the camera and not necessarily for effectiveness, it is not really all that clean. So give yourself an experience point.
Max slowly claps and a single tear rolls down his cheek. That was beautiful, man. That was really beautiful.
Thanks. I like nothing better than to clean a machine in the morning.
That's right. Okay, I'd like to try and use my wrench to, and he physically does this, fingered quotes, fix it.
Okay, so you, I guess, roll a die.
I roll a 4.
You've rolled a 4. Well, you have very much successfully fixed this device. The contamination appears to be there is some sort of hydraulic fluid that has been inadvertently connected and spliced into the elastoveg solution, which is getting injected into the carrots.
No, you see that a lot. It happens.
So you've successfully fixed that particular contamination, and you can scratch that off the list.
Check.
Now that's a man who knows how to handle a wrench.
I like the idea that I just walk over, look at it for a second, and then just smack something with the wrench, and then it just falls in place. Yep. Happens all the time.
This is a man who's handled a carrot stretcher before.
That's right.
All right, Brian, what is Aloysius Plum doing?
I guess I'm going to try and decontaminate the carrots. I'll root around in my bag and see if I've got some degreaser.
He's going to root around. Right, great.
I rolled a 6. This is not going well for me.
I rolled a 1, but you did roll a 6. So not only do you succeed.
Oh, that's true. I do get the skill anyway.
You get the skill.
So,
Oh, don't worry. You're going to have plenty of opportunities to fail in the near future.
Brian's the only person I've ever played this with who just actually constantly wants to fail purely for the XP. And I respect that as a playtesting method.
So my new level 2 skill was came prepared.
So we have all of these carrots cleaned. We have the device fixed, but we still have a number of problems. We have the semi-dried puddle of sticky filth. We have rats and unwanted pests. And we also have metal shavings going into a vat of baby food.
That implies that the rats were desired pests.
I prefer to think of it as more common. I feel like the baby food's the next one that should be addressed.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
Personal opinion.
Okay. Brian, why don't you try to lead us the way to the baby food vats?
As I recall, it's this direction. 2.
You successfully point yourself in the direction of the bathrooms, which is good. We know where those are. But get yourself
That's
an
always
experience point.
All right, I have an experience point. That's strange. I was certain it was over here.
2d6 machine searching.
Okay.
I should write down more pronounceable skills next time. Got it. Okay. 12.
12. Well, you found it. You definitely found it.
Okay. That means I get a new skill, right? Because it's double sixes?
Well, yeah, that only makes sense. So you only get 12 from 2 6s on 2 dice. Yes, you do get a new skill.
You're assuming he's rolling d6s.
I've been using d20s the whole time.
Why did you bring a d6 to a d20 fight?
I now have 3d6 Path of the Handyman. I don't know that I'm good at this game, but I do enjoy coming up with skill names.
Okay, so yes, you have found the vats of baby food. And yeah, there are metal shavings in that baby food vat.
Well, there's your problem. Metal doesn't go in there. Certainly doesn't seem right.
So
didn't even have to roll for that one.
Nope.
Yeah. AJ, what is Jason Alexander going to do about these problems?
Jason Alexander is going to attempt to locate the source of the metal shavings.
All right.
Jason Alexander rolled a 3.
Jason Alexander checks the ingredient list. That surely had to have been put there on purpose. Maybe it's filler. Give yourself an experience point.
That's protein right there. That's good for you.
Do you want to use that experience point to gain a 2d6 skill?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
The skill I'm going to gain is figuring out the source of problems.
All right. All right. Who else would like to diagnose the metal shavings problem?
Aloysius would like to attempt that.
All right. Let's give it a shot.
2.
2. Unfortunately, you are also pretty convinced that that's just there for added iron for the baby's diet.
Supplemental iron.
You gotta get them minerals in there for growing kids.
You got to make sure Magneto is able to lift your baby at any time.
That was what I was most worried about as a parent.
In the future, this will help the children to interface with electronics, I'm sure.
You grow up irrationally scared of Sir Ian McKellen.
I would hate that. That would be awful.
That would
Man's
that
a
is
treasure.
bad.
Rationally, I don't know.
Okay. Max looks at it and is like, well, I'm not sure how hitting it with metal is going to do any good, but sure, I'll give it a try. And I'm going to whack it with my wrench for 1d6.
For 1d6, all right. Whack away.
4.
4. Okay, you seem to whack away, and when you whack, it just kind of sends vibrations on up through not only the vat, but also some of the supports. And your eyes just kind of follow this cartoonish-like vibration upwards. And you see that the broccoli peeler assembly is misaligned, and it is scraping up against a girder right above the baby food.
I thought originally you were going to say that the shavings, that when it starts shaking, the shavings all vibrate out, and I became Magneto somehow.
Oh my gosh.
But that was only a 4, so that seems like a bit much.
Yeah, I have regret now.
Oh, well, there's your problem. Okay. I ain't real tall, so I'm not sure how we're going to fix that one.
Well, I guess I'll see if I came prepared for this. 6.
6. You came prepared for this.
Okay. Well, I'm going to spend both of my experience points right now to raise both of those dice to 6s.
Ooh.
Nice.
And I'm going to get Saw That Coming at 3 dice. And Aloysius pulls out of his satchel one of those leather belts that they use to climb up trees and telephone poles.
Yes. Love it.
All right. So I take it you're now going to go ahead and climb on up there.
Well, I will give somebody else the opportunity to fail at a roll.
Beautiful.
So does Jason want to attempt to climb up?
Yes, Jason will happily attempt to climb up. He twirls his mop and sticks it in a sheath on his back, with the wet, dirty end of the mop handle like hitting him in the back of the neck. As you proffer him the belt, which he then accepts solemnly and attempts to make the climb. I'm gonna go ahead and spend an EXP point here.
Okay, go ahead and make the roll and see if you don't get one automatically. For
Good point.
If you
good
roll
point.
a 6.
No, I rolled a 1.
Okay, you've rolled equal to the GM, so I thought for sure that you were going to succeed in this one, but you get an experience point. You clip into the belt, you make it about 2 feet up, and you just sort of slowly slide down.
Wait, I can't use my XP point?
You can use your XP point to learn a new skill.
Oh, okay, cool.
But it does not change the outcome of the roll.
Got you. Okay, I understand.
Is this where we recreate that one scene from Mulan?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, good.
What we need here is 2 giant discs that we can attach to the ends here. That's the problem. I'm going to gain a new skill, and that's going to be climbing.
Okay.
What else you got in that there extra dimensional space you carry around there, Aloysius?
Well, let's roll Saw That Coming, because I think I know what the problem was. 7.
Okay, yeah, you absolutely saw that coming.
He didn't have
Yes.
the arm weights on.
No, the problem was there was a bit of grease on the back of the girder. Just flip the belt over, and now you'll be able to climb up without hitting the grease and sliding back down.
There it is.
All right.
Alexander, let's give this another chance.
All right, and this time I roll 2, right?
Yes.
Because I got the climbing skill. Okay, cool. This is really simple. Okay, that's a 10.
Okay, you zip right on up. All right.
Have I arrived at the strange girder misalignment?
Yeah, you have arrived at the source of the misalignment.
What is the source of the misalignment?
Well, the broccoli peeler seems to be off its track, and so it is the machinery is scraping the girder. If you just get the broccoli peeler back on its track, then it should probably be just fine.
All right, cool. Is it possible for me to sort of jam the mop in such a way that I can lever the thing back on its track?
Usually we let the dice decide that, so let's find out if that's possible.
Sounds good. All right. That is a 4.
I rolled a 3, so you have properly aligned the broccoli peeler.
Excellent.
And so that is A-okay.
All right. I guess I come back down then.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea.
Do I gain a skill for that or no?
Did you roll it? So did you say that you rolled a 6?
No, I did not. So you only
Okay.
gain the skill if you get 6.
If you get a 6 or spend an experience point.
If you get all 6s on your roll, that is.
Right.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you.
So before we leave this area, Aloysius would like to look around to see if the standard product recall form is nearby. I rolled a 3.
I rolled a 4, so I'm afraid that the NutriCorp Mega-glomeration does not do product recall forms.
No, probably more likely is I found the place where they're supposed to be, and they're just already all been used.
That is far more likely.
Jason Alexander frowns with disappointment at the level of corporate irresponsibility here.
Oh, just you wait, my friend. You wait. Because we still haven't dealt with the rats or the pile of filth. I should say rats and other unwanted pests.
I say we go for the pile of filth. I don't like critters.
Okay, let's go ahead and look for that filth.
Can I use my source of problem skill?
Oh, yeah, why not?
Okay, cool. 7.
I rolled a 6, so you are looking for it, and then your boot just kind of gets into something sticky, and it just has that bottom of the dollar theater, like Velcro-like rip from the floor. So you found it.
Gross. This looks like a job for my handy dandy mop.
All right, let's see how your handy dandy mop does.
Ugh. Can I identify what the filth is?
That is up to the dice.
All right, I'm going to try it. First, I'm going to try to identify what the filth is, because I'm not going to be able to clean it up if I don't know. It's 5.
5. Okay. Yes, you identify what it is and where it's from. It appears to be leaking from a conduit that is stretching all the way across the facility, way into the back. It looks like a specially designed formula, and you see that the pipeline is labeled NutriGrow.
That doesn't seem safe. Is there like an off valve or something for the conduit?
Oh, I'm sure there's an off valve.
While you're cleaning it up, let me see if I can find a way to patch it.
Sounds good.
Do anything for patching it. I roll a 1.
Okay. You slap some duct tape on there, and that duct tape gets saturated very quickly, and it seeps around. It's still its bright acid green self seeping around the duct tape. It smells sweet though, so it's got to be good for you.
I would like to take the path of the handyman and try and find the off valve.
Okay, let's do that.
That is a total of 12.
Okay, so you're letting, if I just want to understand properly, while Aloysius is patching and while Jason is mopping, you are following this conduit off into the distance, correct?
Sure, unfortunately. I become one with my handyman senses and I can't help myself.
Listeners, we have split the party.
I'll start working on my next character.
There's still another opportunity.
You follow this off into some of the back sections, and you see that this thing is leaking in several places, and you see a rat just going to town, slurping up some of this stuff.
I assume he's larger than normal.
He's a big rat. I mean, we're talking probably medium-sized kitten to juvenile cat.
I thought you were going to say medium-sized creature.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, crap, we're in trouble. All right.
This is he's kind of capital starship scale. Okay. No, we're not doing that.
GM, on a scale of 1 to 10, how hard are you struggling not to say ROUS?
Stop looking at my notes, and I want you to know that for copyright reasons, there may or may not be rats of unbelievable stature.
Rats. Excellent. Unbelievable stuff.
I wish I understood that reference.
Gosh, we have a wonderful thing to introduce you to.
Okay, so there is a house cat sized rat looking up from this puddle, staring at you.
I heft my wrench over my shoulder like some kind of battle axe or something, and then just give him the single eyebrow, single hand Dwayne Johnson hand motion to bring it on.
Okay, then the rat is gonna charge at you, and he is attacking you for a 3.
Okay, and so I rolled a defend.
Yeah.
Okay. That is a 1.
Okay, so this rat, he is all over you. I mean, he is climbing up your pant leg. He is menacing you. There may be scratches. There may be bites. It may be painful.
Tetanus shots.
Let's hope that med kit is well stocked.
Yeah.
What happens? I mean, do you cry out? Do you just sit there and take it like Dwayne Johnson would?
I nod in combatant versus combatant appreciation. And then I also yell because it's immensely painful.
Okay.
I would like to roll to listen. I got a 6.
Okay. You hear a yell off into the distance.
So I'm going to get detect peril.
Detect rat combat.
Can I use my source of problem skills to see if I can find out what's wrong with that screen?
Absolutely.
All right, very cool. That's 8.
8. You absolutely know that this is the sound of a man being bitten by a medium juvenile cat-sized rat.
It's expressly that scream.
I go, guys, don't look now, but it sounds like someone has just been bitten by a medium cat-sized rat. We'd better hurry.
Who's guys? Max left. It's just me
Good
here.
point. Aloysius, we have to hurry. You should probably start by shortening your name, because we're wrong.
So I have to say Aloysius every time we're in danger. This is going to take a while.
I think not. In fact, I would prefer you use my entire name, but that's neither here nor there.
Can I roll to hit the rat, please?
We're going to let your compatriots catch up and let them have a... Speaking of catch up, don't worry.
No.
Who'd like to take a shot at the rat? Aloysius or Jason?
Jason does not like critters, as I have said before, so he is hesitant. So I think Aloysius will start.
Oh, he's going to hang back. Okay, Aloysius will attempt to hit it with his satchel. 3.
Okay, you hit this rat and you successfully bash it off of Max, and it sails across the room and it hits its back against some machinery and it falls to the ground, and there are X's over its eyes.
Nice.
And
Aloysius has a look of guilt and pain in his eyes.
Jason Alexander's incredibly impressed. You see the admiration in his behind his shades.
Behind the shades.
At this point, 3 more sets of glowing eyes just snap open, and you hear just this hiss and squeak of rage, and 3 more rats come out of the shadows.
Okay, I repeat my Dwayne The Rock Johnson motions. We're going to try this again.
Okay.
Yeah, this mop is about to be employed doing some rodent bashing.
If you want some, come get some.
Okay, so what happens is first one is going to go ahead and charge Aloysius.
Okay, well, I'm going to see if I've got some rat repellent in my bag. Got a 7.
Got a 7. You successfully repel the rat, and I will narrate what happens as it flees in a moment. So we're going to go with the second rat that is charging at Jason Alexander.
All right. Oh, that's a 4.
Okay, that's fine because I rolled a lot worse than that.
Hey.
You successfully are able to parry rat bites with this mop.
Okay, so even though I succeeded, can I still spend an EXP point?
Oh, yes.
Okay, cool. My new skill is going to be rat bashing.
Fantastic. And next one is up on you, Ryan. And what are we doing?
I would like to try and hit it with my wrench.
Okay.
2.
I hate to throw a monkey wrench into your problems, but you are apparently very delicious to these rats because you have another one climbing up you and biting you.
I take it as a compliment.
I would like to assist with my new rat bashing skill.
Okay.
And I'm going to use my XP to create a new skill.
Cool.
Okay. What are you creating?
I now have 2d6 Way of the Wrench.
Is all your skills going to be like way up?
Yes, I have become a monk.
He's learning handyman do.
Yes.
Very cool. I'm down for that. That's dope. So I rolled a 9, and I'm going to go ahead and expend another experience point to raise that second dice to a 6.
Okay.
So that I can start a new skill or get a new level of rat bashing, right?
No.
You would, it's not so much another level of rat bashing, it would be a new skill related to what you are doing. So it's not the same thing except more. You can get more specific, or you can get
like Mop Kwan Dao.
Mop Kwan Dao could happen.
That's actually pretty dope. I kind of like that. I'm stealing it. Mop Kwan Dao it is.
We're just creating an anime that hasn't happened yet, as best I can tell.
and he becomes even more extreme.
Right.
So actually, it's even better because I practice martial arts like IRL, and so there's a weapon called the Kwan Dao, which is like it's a giant knife on a big pole. So actually, I love Kwan Dao. That's perfect. So we're definitely doing that.
This is beautiful. There's a reason why I assembled you people together.
I don't know if we're the best set of fighting game characters or the worst set of fighting game characters, but I'm excited about it either way.
Okay, so for the record, Jason Alexander is assisting with his mop, and he rolled 12. So
And okay, so he rat bashes that thing across the room.
yeah.
It has X's in its eyes before it even hits the ground. In fact, it does not even hit the ground. It goes cleanly into a wastebasket.
And the lid spins around.
Time to take out the trash.
Nice. Yes. Because it is now very full of large rat. We have the one rat that you had successfully fended off does not like the looks of this. And it follows the rat that was repelled. And it scurries through a crack in a door, and it is a large steel security door, and it has been welded shut, and it has hastily written on it, for legal purposes, this is not a door.
Okay. I assume we need to follow this.
Before you proceed, I think that Max needs some medical attention. I'll attempt to perform first aid on his leg.
Okay.
Over rat bites.
While you're doing that, Max also needs to determine which voice I'm using for this character, because I think I'm on my third one.
I have a 6.
Ooh.
6. Yes. You successfully perform first aid on Max.
Thank you.
And I have medic 2 now.
Ooh, nice.
Did we ever end up shutting off the source of the leak?
Funny thing, that pipe, it goes through the wall that has this door in it. So the conduit and the door go the same direction.
The door that's not legally a door.
The door that is for legal purposes, not a door.
Okay, excellent.
And yes, I have had a lawyer play the scenario. And yes, I know, because he has informed me, that's not how the law works.
I can't legally tell you that's not a door. You never know when that's going to become important.
I mean, if it's welded shut, then for practical purposes, it's also not a door.
Accurate.
That is also true. And you said, I'm sorry, Jim, you said the rat sort of, there's a hole in the knot door?
There's a hole in the wall. There's cracks and holes in the wall. And rats can fit through all manner of things that are impossible for rats to fit through. So we're not worried about the logic here.
Okay, yes. But I guess I'm trying to ascertain whether we can follow them or not.
You totally can follow them, but you're going to need to somehow get that door open, because a rat can fit through these holes. And this steel is bent up. So you can perhaps do some damage to it. You can... I don't know, if you find an arc welder, I really, do you know what? If you find some dynamite, I don't care. Like, I really don't.
No, there's always the possibility that I came prepared.
That's true.
7.
You came prepared for sure.
Right. Well, I have a handy can of Acme D-Weld in my satchel.
That's a handyman's best friend right there. That's a smart young man.
Well, then you can apply it.
This guy's serious.
You'll have to see it.
Who would like to apply the D-Weld?
I will roll to de-weld the door. 6.
Okay, yeah, you successfully de-weld that door.
Okay, I'm going to use, since that is a 6, I gain a new skill. Okay, since I just made an opening, we have now created Way of the Pathmaker. Because if I'm going to lean into the trope, I'm going to lean into the trope. Okay.
Can I have everybody, before we go any further, I'd like you to give me some perception checks. So just do anything to look around.
Can I use detect peril?
You can detect peril.
4.
I have a 3.
Can I use source of problems?
Oh, yeah, you probably can.
Okay.
Dang nabbit. That's not good.
That's a 7.
Okay, you have detected the source of the problem. I rolled a 5, so it
Excellent.
looks like Jason has detected a number of problems. First, he sees that there is a slip of paper on the ground, and on that note, there is written, and it is filled with health code violations. Like, there's just a tick list. And the note says, hastily scribbled on the back, "I'm the last of my inspection team. The horror, the violations. Please, for the love of all that is good, if I don't make it out, tell my wife." And in another handwriting, it says, Wi-Fi password to my roommate. I changed it before I left. I'll be looking here at all the delicious food being processed.
Oh no.
Drums in the dark.
There is also a dark red smear that is just from where that note was sliding into the door.
Cranberry sauce. I've seen this before.
You'd have to make a roll to determine what that is.
It's terribly tough to get out.
That's 4.
You're deeply afraid that
It's not cranberry sauce.
it is not cranberry
Okay.
sauce. It is tomato based.
Oh, okay. Ooh, marinara.
So, shall we proceed down the stairs?
Sure.
Aloysius will go first.
All right.
Jason will follow.
Down the stairs, you see that the 2 rats have gone and got a friend. It is a much larger friend. It is, as has been previously referenced, a rat of unbelievable stature. And you are staring down these folks. So
Inconceivable.
Yeah, there it was.
Brian, what is Aloysius doing?
Aloysius is waiting for the rats to make the first move.
Okay, well then we're going to have the rodent of unbelievable stature come and get you. Oh, shoot. Okay, that did not bode well for me. This thing is just charging right at you. What are you doing about this rodent of unbelievable stature?
I rolled 14 on Saw That Coming. And he lazily just kind of leans to one side, slaps the rat on the side of the head, and it crashes into the wall instead.
That is beautiful. Okay. Yeah, this thing has stars and birds just circling above its head, visibly. Like, you can see this happen.
And I need a new skill. Spend my experience.
All right.
Precognition for 4.
Okay.
Can I rat bash that rat into the other 2 rats?
Rat bash that rat into the other 2 rats.
That's an 11.
I am so sorry.
Oh,
You pick up that rat, and it is just a lot heavier than you had imagined. You did sling it in the other rat's direction, but there was no contact.
I missed.
All right. So what are you doing, Ryan? Or I guess I should say, what is Max doing about this problem, Ryan?
So how many? Which rats remain?
We have one that is obviously phased, and we have the other 2, the 2 smaller large rats that are completely unfazed.
Okay. I will point at one of the smaller unfazed ones. We face each other as God intended. Sportsmanlike. No tricks, no weapons. Skill against skill. Alone.
Beautiful.
And then I run at him.
All right. Give me a roll to see what you do at him, because he's...
I guess because I said that, I have to not use my wrench now. So I'm just going to try and... uppercut the rat.
Okay. Because he's running right at you the same time, and he is, with his paw making a fist, is rearing back and is jumping as you are...
Also jumping, yes. And then everything pauses, and then the camera circles around us. One full rotation, 360 degrees, as I roll a 1.
So this rat, mid-air, clocks you, and you just see this zigzag lines of like surrounding you in multiple colors of just the crash, pow, impact. And you
Max,
you are down for the rest of the round.
No.
All right. A moment. Precognition is often an awful lot like Saw That Coming. So instead, my new skill is Change Outcome.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Okay.
And I would like to roll that.
Okay.
I wasn't expecting time control.
Nor was I.
14.
14. I don't even know what to roll for this. Okay. I rolled a 12, so which is the maximum I could roll on 2 dice. So yeah, you through your precognition could see that Max was going to get into a lot of trouble. So instead, you intervene by shifting the rat's fist just a little to the left, and you shift Max's fist a little to the right. And so what actually happened with this kerpow was Max just knocking this rat clean out.
Do we have any Black Clover fans here? Because your power seems very similar to one of the characters on that show.
I have something very specific that I'm doing.
And the GM is terrified.
Yeah. I land like on one knee, and then I just, without turning, I just point at Aloysius and nod. Thank you, my friend.
Okay,
Jason is going to go ahead and try and take out the last rat if that's possible.
let's do that.
All right. This time we're going to use Kwan Dao, I think. That is a 7.
A 7. Okay. This rat, feeling overconfident, also takes a stance, and it runs at you. And Jason's got this. Tell me what happens in the encounter between Jason and the rat.
Okay, cool. So imagine take a step down imagination lane with me here. Jason extends his mop upwards, like so that it's horizontal over his head, absorbs the flying blow from the rat, and immediately twists his mop around so that the head of it whips over top of his head, and the shaft is sort of along the back of his arm, and as he hits a backhanded blow across the side of the bat's head, knocking it unconscious.
That is beautiful.
That was baller.
Jason holds the pose for a minute and just says, "Three's company."
Wait, there's 3 of us, though. That was awesome.
There is at your feet another note.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I bend down and read it aloud for everyone to hear.
You read, "We cannot get out. They have taken the grow tanks and the second lab. Frank and Leon and Nate fell there. Therefore, a line smeared so you can only read, went 5 days ago. The last lines run, the tomato took Oliver. We cannot get out."
Oh.
I really did see that coming.
This is really, and I've not seen this movie, but I think this is turning into Alien, and I'm really worried.
Mike, there is a message in your Facebook Messenger that might be relevant.
Brian just made a bold prediction.
No, I explained to the GM what I'm doing so that he can make better decisions.
Okay. That helps a lot.
That's not going to be good.
Okay.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah, me too. Brian, if this was anybody but you, I'd be terrified.
Okay, so from the note, we learned that the rats have gotten the 2 containers of grow on the 2nd level, I think. Was that right?
It just says it just says grow tanks, and it says second lab.
Okay, so we got to find the 2nd lab, right?
That's an idea. I mean, you still do have that conduit.
Oh, that's a good
Oh,
point.
yeah, we never did repair that. Did I ever find the place where I can turn it off?
The conduit takes a sharp right into a lab with, I mean, of course, flickering lights, because that's what happens.
And presumably a number 2 on the outside of the door.
If you know what, name it and claim it, my friend. If it
There
has
we
a
go.
2 on the
All
side
right.
of the door, that's what we're doing.
I have concerns. All right, here we go. Do I think the door is unlocked?
I don't know. Why don't we roll for that?
All right.
Give yourself a chance to fail.
You have Path of the Waymaker. Just
Yes. It's time to path make. Oh, that's a 6 on 2
Okay.
dice.
All right. Well, you find that the door wasn't opened, but it definitely is now. You are
Good.
able to slide a key card in through the lab reader, and by key card I mean a credit card, and by key card reader I mean by the door frame, and pop the door open. Inside this lab, you see a large array of hydroponics. Some of it is labeled control, other is labeled moon soil. Some is labeled with NutriCorp. All of them have all manner of liquids flowing through those hydroponics. On the far end of the lab, seen through the flickering lights, a series of valves.
Okay.
Can I use source of problems to figure out which one of these things is messed up?
Oh, that would be you know what? Dude, there are so many things here messed up. I would absolutely roll.
That's a 10.
Okay. I rolled a 7. So yeah, you see that the NutriGrow is over there on the far end. You see one of the valves. You also think you see the electrical conduit going into another room, which you might be able to fix later. But you also see that some of these hydroponics have grown really large. Like some of the normal ones, you know, you see some potatoes, you see some turnips, and you also see another note. This one says, what do you get when you cross a Venus flytrap, a tomato plant, and an octopus? Well, Steve's going to find out because those genes aren't going to swap themselves around now, are they?
At this point, I would like to detect peril. 10.
Okay. Yes, you see that there are in not only the control group, but also the moon soil group, 2 sneering tomato plants. If tomato plants could sneer, because they can, because they have mouths, because they were crossed with Venus flytrap, and if they had twisting vines that could grab things, because they can, because they were crossed with octopuses as well, that those look very perilous. There are 3, but there are 2 that look especially intent on you, and they look especially perilous.
I'd like to roll to detect the presence of a Pokemon Company International employee somewhere in the story.
I've accidentally made a reference, haven't I?
No, you just accidentally made the next generation of Pokemon. I'm gonna write that one down and call Nintendo at some point. Okay, so what is the third one doing if he's not looking as intent on danger?
He's looking more at himself and more at his hydroponics.
Oh, I'm worried he's learning. Okay. We got a real pinky in the brain thing going on here. Okay.
So just GM. Since I've identified the source of problems, can I just like turn the valve and solve
sure.
it?
Yeah, go right ahead. Yeah, do that.
Okay, cool. So I'll just turn the valve to make the levels balance out.
Oh yeah, you can shut that off so all of those things could be easily patched, and you know that'll be fine. No more.
There we go.
No more leaking. No more leaking.
Excellent.
Okay.
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah. Go ahead. Give me a roll.
That's a 3.
Oh, fantastic! Because I rolled a 2. So you just turn that valve, and it squeaks, and it squeaks, and it squeaks, and the pressure for the NutriGrow just shuts right on off, and you see the dripping eventually stop.
Well, that's relief. Seems like the problem's solved. We could probably leave now.
However,
I think we take care of it.
We do have some other thoughts, and by we have other thoughts, I mean the tomato plants have other thoughts.
Audrey 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah, tomato plants 1 and 3 start to slither their vines in your direction. They're going to try and grab at your ankles.
All right. Can I defend with Mop Kwan Dao?
Oh, I would absolutely recommend that.
All right.
I'd like to call time out. It's clearly time for our union mandated lunch break.
I agree. Look,
Independent contractors.
I love to see it. Okay.
Hey, just because we're not allowed to unionize doesn't mean we can't act like a union. I got a 7.
Got a 7. Okay,
yes.
I got a 6. So what do you do to get away from these slithering vines?
Jason Alexander does a series of unnecessary backflips, concluding with a Spider-Man crouch at the end. And but he doesn't have any witty one-liners. He's just dodged the vines though this time.
I imagine sometime in this, between hydroponic racks, he jumps and does the splits and suspends himself there as a vine goes right where his legs were a moment ago before Perfect. He sticks his landing.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, we also have some vines because there are so many vines that are also coming at Aloysius. Aloysius.
All right. We'll see if I came prepared. 9.
Yes. It's like you knew where they were going to be before they were even there. You step aside, and those vines just snap right past you.
and my hand darts into my satchel, pulls out a bottle of weed killer, and I just smash it on the floor right next to me, and it covers the vines.
Ooh, okay. Let's see how that does. Give me a weed killer roll.
3.
Okay. I rolled a 3. When they hear the smash, they snap their vines back rapidly out of the poisonous spray.
And we get just a tight close up on my eyes and my eyebrows pointing downward. Anger.
Okay.
Can I? What kind of weed killer is this? Is this a liquid or is it an aerosol?
I was imagining a liquid.
If it's a liquid, then I would like to use my mop to absorb some of it at this time.
Poison tip mop.
Let's mop that up.
All right.
Can't have spells like that. That's just unacceptable.
Can I use mop Kwan Dao for that?
I mean, it's using your mop, and it's
All right,
of
still
your mop arts. So yeah.
Heck yes. Ooh, that is double 6s.
We snap back to that close up of Aloysius's eyes, and it backs off just enough that you can see he's got this cocky smirk on his face now.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, and I get to because it's 2 6s, I get to choose another skill. Is that correct? Or
Yes, you do.
okay, and it has to be related to what just happened, correct?
Yeah, although it could be absorption.
Yeah, I was going to do absorption actually.
Okay. This is how we all become superheroes or villains.
This from the man who brought you Spatulate.
I did that once.
Okay, so with my newly acquired weed killer liquid in my infused mop, I will launch an attack against the nearest vines that I can see.
So go ahead and give me an attack on number 2.
All right. 9.
9. Okay, so you are able to stick it to the plant, and you just hear like a sizzle and hiss, and there are just tendrils of vapor coming up as this plant just withers right there and collapses.
As this happens, Jason Alexander takes off his glasses and goes, "It's time to eat your vegetables."
Okay, I think that it's been a hot second since Max has done something. So, Ryan,
Do I still have one that's in a pot?
You have the one aggro one that is very much connected to its hydroponics.
Okay.
They're actually both very much connected to its hydroponics.
So I'll smash down on whichever one's already aggro. I will wave the wrench to smash down with my unnecessarily large wrench to try and destroy the mechanism that feeds it.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
That is a total of 6.
Okay. So you just smash down on the hydroponics, and it is just flailing about searching for nutrients. It's like it's gasping for air, despite the fact that it makes no sense because it has air, and the fact that this just got shut off like 2 minutes ago, and you did not notice this, sir, but still, for some reason, in a fit of its own histrionics, it has rendered itself catatonic in panic.
Okay. Dig it.
There is a third non-aggro one that just starts tugging at its hydroponics, and it kind of leans its tomato in your direction and says, "Please, free." And it pitifully tugs at its hydroponics and its roots.
I would like to use Way of the Wrench to gently disassemble whatever it's pulling at.
Okay. Go ahead and give me that.
I would like to detect peril to find out if that's a good idea.
That's also probably a reasonable assertion.
8.
I have a 9.
You have a 9. Okay. Let's bank that for just a second. What have you got for detect peril?
8.
8. You detect no peril.
Oh, okay. Proceed, sir.
Are you going to ask me if you get an experience point?
Do I get an experience point?
No, you do not.
Okay.
Okay.
I feel much better now.
My decision was going to be the same whether or not I got the experience point. By the way. Proceed.
So you disassemble these hydroponics and set it gently on the floor. And this massive plant just uses its vines to crawl its way out the door, up the stairs, and disappears through the plant. And you can hear it once it's out in the hallway. Thank you.
I don't know that was my best choice.
It'll be fine, I'm sure.
I use an XP. I use an XP because I have a 6 on one of my 2 dice.
Okay.
And I now have, above Wave of the Wrench, I now have 3d6 Expert Handyman.
Okay. All right. Fantastic.
So do we go after it? I don't know what we just freed.
I'm interested to see what it does.
I'm trying also to name something that's part Venus flytrap, part tomato, and part Pokemon. I mean, octopus.
I mean, I thought it was a pretty straightforward piranha plant reference from Super Mario Bros.
Oh, he's right. Okay, perfect. Sure, I'll follow it.
Okay.
I'll follow them.
And I'll follow him.
This can only go well.
This guy goes up onto the plant floor. He grabs some safety glasses, puts them on, despite the fact that he doesn't have eyes.
Doesn't matter.
Grabs a lab coat and grabs a hard hat and goes on his way back down into the labs.
Ooh, I know how this works. This is like when we have to separate Bill from the Jigglypuff in Pokemon. Was it a Jigglypuff? I think it was a Jigglypuff.
Oh.
They've combined, so now we have to put them in the machine and separate them again.
Mechanically separated tomato and octopus.
Tomato person.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
If we do this right, they'll both exist when we're finished. Probably.
All right. Is that what we're doing? We're trying to make that happen?
And then I begin combat training the piranha plant. Right. Mm-hmm. Nope, that all sounds accurate to me. Yeah.
Okay.
I would
All
like
right.
to do some machine searching to find the human plant genome splitter.
Okay. Give me a roll because that sounds like a roll.
That's a total of a 3 on 2 dice.
Okay. Yeah.
Oof.
You find a lab with a lot of complex machinery that you do not understand. You do see something that looks kind of like a teleporter. And in the pad, you do see the previous entry for a human and a fly.
Oh no. We're gonna fight Baxter Stockman?
I mean,
Or Jeff Goldblum.
Or Jeff Goldblum, yeah, that's true.
you could, like anything could happen here, man. We are off the rails. You guys are in charge, so let's find out what happens.
Well, I think I would like to examine the tomato flytrap octopus thing with Medic to see if what Max suggests is even possible.
Okay.
10.
With Medic, you don't know that there's actually any human DNA in there. If you want to try to extract and resequence, that is totally up to you.
Well, I rolled a 6 on one of those dice, so I'm going to spend an XP to get science. That's all in caps with an exclamation point.
I mean, I think it's kind of morally mandated at this point that that's how you write the skill.
Yes.
Technically, per Google, we do share 60% of our DNA with tomatoes, so this should be fine.
Okay. I have a high degree of confidence in this experiment. Okay.
I probably should have asked the tomato person what they were trying to do first, but whatever. It's fine.
Yeah, actually, this does sort of raise some questions about consent because the thing can speak and therefore it can think, therefore
yes,
you're going to need to get its permission to experiment on it.
Okay, I guess I would like to roll to talk to the. I still haven't come up with a good Pokemon name yet, but that thing, yeah.
I think Jason needs to roll for ethics at this point.
Ooh,
Yeah,
to make his point.
I will roll for ethics.
Okay.
I will make an ethics roll, which is appropriate because I have a law degree.
Perfect.
And if there's one thing that I know, it's that
Ethics are random.
ethical choices should definitely be left up to chance. That's a 2.
Okay.
So that was a good decision.
Yep.
You find yourself mired in a conversation of Nicomachean ethics. I mean, you somehow you find yourself in a conversation embroiled about the plant soul, the the animal soul, and human soul, and whether or not Aristotle actually had really had focused in on whether or not the ability to use reason was exclusive to the human soul.
I'm in an ethical conundrum. I think I need to take a turn off.
I'm starting to question most of the science and the viability of many of the things I grew up watching. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids seems way more problematic now.
This is why we need
Okay.
more humanities in the education of scientists.
Okay, I'm gonna roll to talk to Plant Friend. That's a 4.
Okay. You successfully are able to speak to the tomato plant.
And I refer to him as Doctor.
Very nice.
Doctor, what are you trying to accomplish? What can we do to help you?
Free Omega Lemon.
I really hate that. I think he said Omega Lemon. Don't know how to parse that one. Okay, we need to free the Omega Lemon. That's okay.
Yes.
Oh yes. Okay, cool. I don't know what Saturday morning cartoon I'm living in right now, but here we go. Where is the Omega Lemon?
The Omega Lemon is down. Elevator. Down.
Oh, we have to go down the elevator. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I will go look for the elevator, I guess.
Hold this, please. And he hands you some pipe as he's opening valves and so forth.
Oh, okay. I go full apprentice handyman and begin to assist the good doctor in his mechanical endeavors.
And he takes it back. Thank you. And then elevator down. Oh.
Okay, guys, we're leaving. We have to go take the elevator to find the... I'll explain on the way.
Jason Alexander looks troubled as he follows. He's wondering whether we should be listening to a sentient vegetable. On the other hand, he's still weighted down with ethical concerns, so he doesn't raise it at this time.
They're not going to get better. I'm sorry.
The ethical concerns started the moment that the contract didn't fully.
I was going to say the moment we signed paperwork. Yeah.
Okay, so what are y'all doing?
I think we're following the hallway for the elevator, right?
Yes, indeed. And now we come to it.
So there is the lift, and it's more of kind of an open-ish freight elevator. There is a grate that you can open, but it's one of those slide open type things. See if you can operate the elevator. I'm terrified if you can't, but you know.
I will press the button.
I rolled a 1 on operate elevator.
You get an experience point.
That's all that matters.
I'll try to operate the elevator myself.
Okay, what did you roll?
A 4.
Oh, beautiful. Okay.
Aloysius is trying to move the gate sideways, even though it clearly goes up and down.
The reason why Aloysius had so much difficulty was because this is apparently a key-locked elevator, but you're able to jimmy that button with your mysterious handyman and mop ways to secure it. Then the elevator begins its descent. It begins slowly at first, and then continues down, just down, 37 sub-basements down. And it goes faster and faster until it gently comes to a rest so many stories below.
Ding!
And as the grate opens, you can see into a massive expanse of space, of pipes and conduits in the center of a room that has a relatively small-ish lemon tree growing in it. And
the gross stuff's piped from underground. Oh, that's not going to be good.
20-foot lemon growing off of a singular branch.
But a normal-sized branch?
It's a normal-sized branch, a smallish tree, and a 20-foot lemon.
The lemon's resting on the ground.
Absolutely it is, because that's...
Is there anything hooked up to the Omega lemon?
It looks like all of the pipes are just kind of...
Yeah.
And its root structure is growing all over the floor.
Is lemon juice how you grow plants?
And you feel a vibration of the air. Like it's like one of those things where you stand in front of a concert speaker and you can feel the waves like in your chest, despite the fact that the voice isn't terribly loud. It says,
"Why have you come to the domain of the Omega Lemon?"
We were sent by Dr. Octaflyado to find you.
"So, you have not come on behalf of the humans who have given us life and then sought to take it?"
We seek to free Dr. Octaflyado.
Yeah, man. They don't even pay my health insurance, so
Nope.
they can go kick rock.
"Where do you think we could be free?"
I've got like weird like Journey to the Center of the Earth vibes where we release them into some kind of cavern 3,000 feet below ground, and they just exist in a separate world.
I would like to roll science to see if any such place exists. 12.
Mike,
Mhm.
after you answer his question.
okay, 12. You successfully determine that there are places where this could exist. Perhaps nowhere on Earth.
And that was going to be my question.
What's that?
So based on back in the lab where all the octaflyados are grown, you kept saying the word moon soil, implying they have access to something from the moon, implying they have access to the moon, implying we could probably just release all this on the moon. I'm probably implying too much, but you know. That
is a reasonable conclusion based on what I have seeded. No pun intended.
Haha, got him. Okay.
I'm no scientist myself, but it just seems that for a bunch of plants, the moon has a distinct lack of oxygen. I just want to point that out.
I mean, he's not
at this time.
It does have plantable soil, which I also wasn't expecting.
Neither was I, but I actually read a few NASA papers. Anyway.
I'm going to spend my 2 experience points now because I had a 6 on one of those.
Okay.
For a level 4 skill, environmentalism 4.
Nice. Nice. They don't have to be complex, just helpful. Where, oh great Omega Lemon, are you from originally?
"Where am I from? I am from here. I was an accident, a construct. I was an experiment, but here I am."
Is there any place that you want to go? That's kind of what freedom is you get to decide. Where would you be happy, bro?
I'm going to pause for a second. I don't want to take narrative control away from you guys. Is there any place that would be more satisfying for this to turn out? Whether this is put him on a desert island, put him in space, put him in the center of the earth.
Are we only moving the Omega Lemon, or do the rats belong to this sort of society of something that's in between Feifel Goes West and VeggieTales? Or what are we... Who all is considered sentient in this process, I guess is my question.
That is a great question.
Because if we're relocating one moderately large lemon versus we're relocating an entire preformed society of vegetable people.
My thinking is that we need to turn the entire laboratory, the whole plant, into a giant spaceship that we send to the moon. That way all of it goes.
And in theory has the technology within it for them to still breathe on the moon.
Well, that's why I took environmentalism.
And they have a scientist.
They do. That's true.
Look, we already set the standards of what's realistic at Carrot Stretcher.
Yeah. And as we've seen on every television show, all you need is one scientist, and they can solve everything.
That's correct. You are a magic wizard when you're a scientist. You just get to-
Omnidisciplinary scientist.
exactly.
Science is just science, man. It's not even that complicated.
No, it's science.
There's also that.
This is a thing that the group feels good about then. Am I hearing that?
Yes, I want to know if we send them to the moon, that's fine. But like, if they're gonna, as long as they're able to live and stuff, then that's cool.
Oh, they'll make it happen. But like, they got a scientist.
They'll be fine.
All right, cool. Very cool. Let's do it then.
There's a lot of things that can happen in 37 sub-basements that you didn't see up at the top labs. That's just...
It's true.
I do like the idea of turning a food factory into some kind of magic school bus style.
Yes.
Something that can fly, or just a ship. It's like Sokovia from that one Avengers movie where the whole thing just takes off out of the ground.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's a good point. Yeah.
It's just a thing.
Chunk of earth, like when Genie turns evil in Aladdin and has to like lift up the palace, just pulls it right out of the ground.
And it just happens to have rocket boosters underneath it for reasons.
Exactly.
Science.
That's what you do with rocket boosters. You put them on neat stuff. No,
got to put them somewhere.
You wouldn't put it on top. I mean, that's silly.
Then you're going down.
Yeah, exactly. Can't get any lift there.
Not useful.
That is absolutely on brand. Okay, so the Omega Lemon answers your question.
There is no place on earth I wish to be, where I can be free as among the stars, on fresh soil, fresh lunar soil.
Lemons do grow best on cheese. I don't know where that came from, but I couldn't help it. Sorry.
And if there's one thing we have in abundance,
I mean, lemons are yellow, cheese is yellow. That means they should go to the moon.
That follows.
Definitely adds up.
Science. Once again.
Science.
We only need the right concoction of these vile substances to fuel our trip away from this place.
What was the chemical they were putting on stuff called?
That was NutriGrow.
NutriGrow scientifically is like 97% rocket fuel, so this is probably fine.
I was about to say, actually, like, legitimately, like, a lot, like, fertilizer can be used.
Actually,
well,
though, yeah.
Fertilizers and rocket fuel aren't that far apart in terms of, like, their chemical composition.
For legal reasons, the Geek at Arms podcast does not recommend that you tinker with fertilizer to use as rocket fuel. Don't do this at home, kids.
Okay, so how do we transform this giant factory into a spaceship city?
With science.
Right. Nope, never mind. He answered it. We're good.
Give me a roll.
A lowly 7.
Roll for shoes, where everything is just as simple as give me a roll.
Give yourself an experience point, because you start to turn what you think is the right valve, and steam comes out instead.
Oh, I blinded myself with science.
Hey, got him.
Who else would like to give us a roll?
Okay, so we're trying to send them somewhere, which means I should use Way of the Pathmaker to find the way to the moon.
Yes.
Sure, that's how science works. Right. Got to get directions somewhere.
In the spirit of Super Mario, can I make a climbing roll to see if we can grow a plant far enough to go to the moon with the chemicals that we have?
And I got an 8, by the way. Ba-da-da-da-da-da.
You are able to calculate the trajectory for the telemetry for a successful building-based moon launch and landing.
We're not going to fly them to the moon. We're just going to make the lemon tree real big.
A lemon satellite.
Yes. Science.
No, I was going to see if we can climb on a vine to the moon, like in the spirit of Super Mario Bros. But it seems like we've solved the problem already, so it would just be redundant.
Well, we found the way. We still need the method.
I just have a trajectory. Okay. We still got to get there.
All right. Well, I rolled a 10 on my vine climbing idea.
Okay. You certainly beat my roll of an 8.
Hey.
So what you have done is you have found the right concoction of Elastoveg and NutriGrow in order to just super feed into some of these non-sentient potato plants to get those eyes to grow right into the right direction.
Jack and Beanstalk it is.
And now all is left is to grab a hold of the moon, because that's what we're doing. I mean, look, I'm just following your lead, guys. I did not.
Okay.
This is not in my notes.
No, this is fine.
And now the Omega Lemon's presence just seems to swell.
Now we have hold of the moon. The way is found, and now we go.
And you begin to feel the sub-basement tremble.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, you better get out of here.
So the question is, do we need to send Dr. Flyado back down the elevator? Is he going too?
Oh, I mean, this building is going.
Oh, the whole building's going. Oh, okay.
Are you going with it?
Yeah. Because I cannot breathe in the moon, I'd much prefer to stay on the ground.
Yeah, we're going to stay here.
Stay on Earth, not stay in the building.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I use my wrench to try and make the elevator go faster?
I think that is a fantastic idea.
Way of the wrench. 7.
7. Okay, yes, I rolled a 6. So you're super lucky, because as this building is just trembling, and you can feel like deep within the earth, like cracks and giving away. And this elevator just starts to rise faster and faster, just recklessly fast. And it comes to a screeching halt at the hallway. And I suggest that you guys run.
As we get to the exit, or well, let me know when we get to the exit. I want to do something when we get to the
I
exit.
think you probably have to roll to get to the exit.
Yeah, okay, let's roll to get to the exit.
I have no appropriate skills. So I roll a 3.
I would like to do Path of the Handyman to find us the shortest way back to the exit.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
I rolled a 5.
That's a total of 12.
What happens is the two of you are running, and you happen to notice that one of your compatriots has tripped. Give yourself an experience point, Brian. You can see that there are parts of the structure that are starting to, the non-load bearing walls are starting to like kind of fall over through the trembling of the whole structure.
I'm going to grab Aloysius by the back of the coat, pick him up like a suitcase, and run like I'm late for a plane.
And at this point, Aloysius is just cackling madly, and there's tears streaming from his eyes. You can't tell if he's upset or happy.
Is there a way for me to help?
Yes.
Wait, hold on. Does Aloysius want to stay?
We can't leave him here.
You have no idea. He's manic.
I really have no idea. I'm concerned.
I would roll to help.
I'm rolling to help.
And I probably need to roll to carry him too.
Yeah.
4.
Okay. What have you got?
I'm trying to decide if I don't think I have any skills, so I'm just going to do anything. That's also a 4.
Okay. Thank goodness, because I rolled a 3. So you guys pick him up suitcase style, one on either end, and just run with him out the door.
Okay, this makes no sense in game, but I'm going to say it anyway. Jason Alexander, as he's helping to pick up Aloysius, goes, clean up on aisle 4.
You always have to use that line at some point. Wherever it goes, you just have to get it in there. I respect that. That's very true. Every good action movie requires a cleanup on aisle 4.
As you guys are approaching the main entrance, you see that this thing is already lifting off of the ground. It's a good 10-foot jump down at the main entrance. Somebody wanted to do something at the main entrance?
Yes. As we get to the main entrance, I stop and turn and I look back and I make eye contact with Dr. Octaflyado, and then I just give him a salute and a nod, and then I jump out of the building.
Fantastic.
I'm going to use my climbing skill to deftly achieve exit as opposed to just jumping, I think, if that's allowed.
Okay.
That would make way more sense than me jumping 10 feet. You're fine.
Okay, I got 10.
Okay. You succeed. So why don't you narrate what Jason Alexander looks like?
Jason Alexander, he sort of helps to toss Aloysius and Max as far as they can go, and then he sort of does a series of unnecessary front flips, bouncing off of various walls. He lands in a Spider-Man crouch at the exit, and he says, "It's time to make a clean getaway.
Hey, there it is. I'd like to roll to position myself to where I'll hit the ground before Aloysius does, and he kind of lands on me, sort of like Baymax style.
Okay,
Nice.
Give me a roll for that.
Because Dr. Lou Albano was a large man, and I should use my size to my advantage. That's a 4.
Okay, fantastic. I dropped my die and it landed on the floor, and it's a 3, but it still counts.
Yay! Safe victory is ours.
Victory is yours,
We did it. We changed it.
in a manner of speaking.
Yes. I mean, we're definitely not getting paid for this, but that's fine.
Oh, no. You take a brief look at your contract, and it does say that you have a non-disclosure, that there's even the non-disclosure has a non-disclosure, so you can't say that you signed a non-disclosure. You're responsible for any and all loss or damages. You're also responsible, all private thoughts that you had while in the building are the property of NutriCorp. So yeah, you guys are...
Okay.
But none of that matters because the war won't happen now.
He's a time traveler?
We did it. And Jason, you survived.
Yeah.
Wait, was this the jump that takes him home?
Aloysius invented a time machine, and he's been stuck in a loop that ends in terrible tragedy.
Oh, okay. Wait, are you one of the internal scientists?
No.
Oh, okay. You've just been trying to prevent disaster.
Yes.
The rise of the Mega-glomeration.
This massive 38-story deep crater was the best case scenario.
If it was that and a world war with the vegetables,
I pull out the paperwork, look down at the list, look slightly disappointed in myself and the handful of things we didn't fix before we let the building leave. Because, job well done and such.
And curtain. Well, thank you everyone for joining us for another episode of Roll for Shoes, and a special thank you to our players. Guys, this was a lot of fun. I'm so glad you're able to join us tonight. But before we go, is there any place where we can find you online? Ryan, what about you?
You can find me and my nonsense over at cityonahillgaming.com, at City on a Hill Game on Twitter, City on a Hill Gaming on Instagram. I promise I check it occasionally. And you can email us at cityonahillgaming@gmail.com.
All right. And Brian, where can we find you?
Well, I'm a co-host on the Geek at Arms podcast, of course, which is probably where you're listening to us. But just in case, we are at geekatarms.com. I'm also a board member of the Christian Gamers Guild, christian-gamers-guild.org.
And AJ, is there any place where we can look for you?
Yeah, so I live in the suburban, Washington, D.C. area down in Maryland. Shout out to the Terps. You can find me online at Dunadanjets on Twitter. That's DUNADANJETS on Twitter. That's the best place to get a hold of me. So yeah, I look forward to hearing from y'all.
All right. And of course, you can find us at Facebook/GeekAtArms or at geekatarms.com, as Brian mentioned, or at ArmsGeek on Twitter. And so from all of us, be safe, be blessed, and be geeky.
Thanks for listening to Geek at Arms. Music for this podcast was provided by Incompetech.com. For more, check us out at Facebook.com/Geek at Arms. Give us a like and maybe even subscribe to us on iTunes. That would be awesome.